Hey everybody, I'm Chris Cuomo. Welcome to NewsNation. I have some food for thought for you on this Monday. Normalizing. You hear that a lot these days, right? That term. Now first, did you know that the word normal comes from the idea of making things square in carpentry, as in at right angles? It was really a math term, and eventually it got turned into common language as what the standard or expected manner is within a given context. Why am I explaining this? Well, first of all, I didn't really know, but I'm explaining it because it seems that with time, we've lost our grasp on what is normal, to the extent that anything is. And there's a story that's making people crazy today, and it plays into this as an extension of the most common complaint that I receive, that I am normalizing something. I normalized Trump's behavior by saying the New York cases against him were controversial, and that I didn't like them. Or I normalized the idea that identity is not as simple as how you come out of your mother. Now, the MSNBC morning political power couple is getting heat online. Talk about what's become normal, right? But also from colleagues, reportedly, for normalizing the incoming administration by going to Florida to make peace with Trump. So, going to talk to a president-elect is not normal, meaning it's not generally done? Of course it is. Name me a media person who wouldn't go meet with the incoming president. So, what is it that makes them going there abnormal or needing to be made normal? Did he not win? Is Trump not the legitimate president-elect? Did he cheat? No. So what they really mean is that you're doing something they don't like. But that isn't what normal is. Normal is what is generally accepted. And seeing how the guy just won, it should be generally accepted that the media should take him seriously and look for access to advance the fairness of coverage, right? That should be the goal of what they're doing. Hold that there. Now, I hope what they don't mean is, no, we don't accept him as president. Neither should you. Don't act like he's the president, because that's exactly what you were afraid he would do. So are you normalizing what you said might make Trump abnormal if he lost? Now, we continue. If no one called out what Trump or whomever we're talking about normalizing said or did that offended standards that matter in our analysis, that would be one thing. But come on, it is a secret to no one that Trump's resume and his rap sheet have a lot of troubling things on them. Now, here's the fair criticism of the MSNBC guys, that they are just going down there looking for advantage, because going anti-Trump is not paying the bills the way it once did for them. Remember, these two shifted to attacking Trump only after they had been promoting his cause as much or more as any media outlet back in 2015, 2016 when he first ran. Yes, MSNBC, that morning show, gave Trump time and time again, and a wet kiss every time for as long as it worked for them. Now, I remember this well because I was competing against them on CNN's morning show. And by the way, we beat them twice. Now, in large part, I believe, because we were insisting on holding Trump and other power players to account for what they were saying and doing. And MS was not. Look how young I looked. Oh, I hate these things. Anyway, so you could go at the MSNBC folks for trading their conscience, or if that's what it was, for convenience. But they aren't normalizing anything by talking to an incoming administration. Seems to me that when people complain about something being normalized, they just don't like what or who it is. And if anything, we have normalized the idea that you can do that. You can deplatform, and that's just another word for censor, anyone or any idea that you get enough media pressure to make an outlet or employer flinch. As long as you can do that, you can go at normalizing anything. We normalized cancel culture without due process. We normalized allowing government to tell us what was true about Russian interference, and even during the pandemic, often without a lot of proof. And thus, this election was, in a way, a referendum on what is normal. If the Democrats had cared as much about what was being normalized within their own ranks, like being okay with a broken border system, ignoring an ailing president, ignoring pocketbook realities for working families who used to be their core constituency, if they had looked at that as hard as they insisted that anyone who doesn't agree with their ideas about what is normal is guilty of normalizing, they may have won. Because despite the Electoral College and the ultimate outcomes, the Democrats were close all over. They just lost all the close calls. A little adds up to a lot. But subjectively, qualitatively, not quantitatively, what was the difference? The majority decided that what they were hearing, yes, from Trump and the GOP, at least on the issues that matter the most to the majority, seemed more normal than what the Democrats were offering. But let's be honest. I mean, is it just me? I feel like nothing is normal anymore. Anything can go any way at any time. Sure, we have key values like liberty and justice for all, but it gets pretty random after that, right? And I'm not just talking about fashion and fads. Let me stick to the current context. Trump was defined as a bigot all election, right? This weekend, did you see what I saw? Numerous black athletes doing the Trump dance to celebrate. Right? Did you see it? I saw it. So I don't know what normal means. Certainly not in all cases, but I'll tell you what I don't think is normal. To have political parties matter more than the country as a whole, and for them to focus on their prospects instead of yours and mine. And too often that's what is done. It's not normal to have us divided by those same parties for reasons that only benefit them. And it is not normal in America to insist that people or ideas that you believe are wrong or different or even dishonest or offensive, that those ideas and people can't be interviewed unless they're being savaged. That's not what our norm, that's not what our standard should be. That's normalizing intolerance, and that's what is part of our problem. Seems to me a lot of what I see from the magnified minorities that dominate our party politics is actually abnormal, because it's too often the few putting their wants on the many. The more we at NewsNation do what we plan to do, which is have all sides of issues in conversation about how government can make something better. Not merely the scandal du jour, not merely who is to blame for the problem, not merely which party or person is worse, but how does it get better? And what is good and bad about the ideas in the mix? The more we focus on that, the more normal things will get. Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.